AJ, how about a favorite value play on this small slate?
Yeah, I've got two guys that I'm kind of targeting tonight. One for sure, and one we'll see. It starts with Seth Jarvis. He's a lock for me tonight at 3,100. That's criminally low for a guy that's got 14 points in 22 games this year. The fact that he's listed as a fourth liner, I think, is going to only serve to lower his drafted percentage here. But he's getting consistent looks with the number 2 power play unit there. And that's a unit that actually sees some ice time. You know, some teams, the second unit doesn't really get out there. The other guy is going to be dependent on the Caps line rushes at practice this morning. We tentatively over at Rotowire, you check out our depth charts. We've got Garnet Hathaway slotted in as the right winger on Ovechkin's line, and he's going to come in at just 2,700. If he holds on to that spot, I think this is a great way, again, to get that share of Ovi without having to pay up. Obviously, if they move him to a different line, I'm not quite so high on his value here.
Jeff, who you like for value?
I mean, I've given out like 5 guys under 4K
Yep.
already, but there's with the salaries. I mean, there's a lot of cheap guys. It's kind of nice because you almost don't have to worry about salaries tonight. It's just one of those nights. I think Brandon Saad is another player like you really should be taking a look at. Tarasenko most likely out with COVID. I mean, I haven't seen any updates, but if he's been ruled out, but likely not going to play. Last I heard, a guy like Saad obviously already playing on the top unit, but going to get more usage now on that top power play for the St. Louis Blues. He's a complete boomer bust player, but in these situations, he's more likely obviously to get 3 or 4 shots on net. If he finds the back of the net, he's really cheap, and you can pair him easily with a guy like Ryan O'Reilly. So Brandon Saad in this position, again, getting more usage on the top power play unit in the NHL, why not?
All right, Paul, I know there's been a lot of value shared already, but do you have a top value play?
I do, and it's linked to the thought that Ovi needs to be in your lineup. If you go that route, you can actually stack the Caps top line, and the reason why was spelled out very clearly by AJ. If that situation holds and Garnet Hathaway joins that top unit again, he's come off a stretch where he's got 6 points in his last 10 games and 26 shots on goal too. Still, that's pretty cheap and terrific value in my opinion. The guy that we haven't mentioned yet, though, we haven't talked too much about the St. Louis Blues options, and I've indicated my preference for the Caps, but I might like to find a way to get Jordan Kyrou into the lineup since he costs only $4,100 tonight. He's been a top performer for the Blues as yet another breakout performer that I highlight on today's show. Got 12 points in his last 10 games and is better than a point per game year to date, actually. And I also like his shots on goal rate, which is verging on 3 per game.